Alrighty, what's good, people of the internet? This is gonna be a very strange video, because I don't want to be like those other YouTubers who go like, hey guys, this is my first video and all. Because I mean it is, but still, I don't want to bore you all with that, because you almost likely will click on this video for the title. And this is going to be, what if Deku was Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's 3? Now, I have seen some people do this. I'm not gonna, say their names, because one, I don't know, don't remember off the top of my head, and all that. But I've seen them give him the Phantom, some, illusion powers. Yeah, in this version, he's gonna have nothing like that. So, we're gonna start off the story bright and simple. Obviously, we're gonna have to start 44 years, before the actual canon, because, if Deku because it took 30 years for William Afton to rise when he was in the Springlock suit, or he rose the next day just banging in that safe room for 30 years alone. But anyway, we start with the birth of Izuku Midoriya. His mother, Inko Midoriya, is, holding her child, happy with herself. Now, let's just say 3 to 5 years late. Well, not 5. When he's 3 years old, this is going to be the day right before his birthday. His father leaves, and after arguing with his mother, because his father thinks Deku is a mistake that, should have been aborted. Inko says he's perfect the way he is. Now, obviously, this does put some, sadness into Deku, because he thought his father actually liked him. The next day, his birthday arrives. He has a pretty good birthday party. Bakugo and all of them are there. We have a good birthday party. And that's when Deku says to himself, I wish to be a hero, as his birthday wish as he blows out the candles. I'm pretty sure we all know how parties go. So if I'm skipping some stuff, it's kind of because that. I don't want to detail the entire party. But anyway, let's continue. The next day, they go to the quirk doctor. They run all the tests like they do in canon. The doctor goes like, I'm sorry to say this, but your son is quirkless. Deku is just petrified. Oh wait, and also if I said Bakugo was at the party, scratch that. He's not alive yet. But anyway, Deku is petrified. Sad that he doesn't get to have a superpower. Sad that, he doesn't get to be a hero. That doesn't stop him doing all the notes. Also, the number one hero at this time is Nana Shimura, All Might's teacher. If you don't know who that was, I'm sorry for the spoiler. But then again, if you've never watched My Hero Academia, what are you doing? It's literally, I think they just got done with season 4 on Hulu. Also, don't try looking this stuff up on Netflix. Netflix will not give you, My Hero Academia. Don't know why, it just won't. Anyway, back to the story before I sidetrack myself again. He just, we're going to skip to his middle school years. He gets bullied for being quirkless, and this time it's a lot worse. Since, society just got used to, some people being quirkless. Also, in this world, let's just say it's, a 3.5% chance to be quirkless, meaning it's pretty low. So everyone's laughing and makes fun of him. The day before, the final day of high school, because I'm not going to narrate his entire, middle school life. The day before, the teacher does like in canon, flipping the papers in the air, saying, "I know you all want to go to the hero course." That day before, that class goes normal, but at the end of the school day, the kids tell him to follow them or they'll beat him up. He follows him to, ensure his own safety. They take him to an abandoned Freddy Fazbear's. Now, most people decide to do it where Deku goes to Fazbear's Fright. Don't know why, because the Spring Bonnie suit was not in Fazbear's Fright. It was found at a Freddy Fazbear's safe room. So that's what's going to happen. The kids know about the safe room through finding it. They saw this old animatronic suit that could be, doubled as a suit. They tell him to put it on. He puts it on reluctantly, because he did try to object to them, but they said if he didn't, they'd break his bones. So he did. He wears the suit. He's like, "Alright, can I get out of it?" As they're all taking photos with their phones. Then a leak from the roof drips water onto Deku's shoulder. And then, bam! They all just hear a loud crunch as they all hear Deku's bones and body being torn apart by the spring-lock suit. The kids run in horror. They also board up the safe room so Deku cannot get out. Now, we're going to leave Deku for a moment and go to the kids who were bullying him. They ran. They didn't tell the cops. They made it like their secret to not tell anyone what they did. Now, they go to high school, to the middle school. The teacher does that. They all show their quirks. He asks, "Has anyone seen Izuku Midoriya today, though?" This time. Everyone looks back at his seat, and they are like, "It's strange. He never misses a day of school." The bullies nod their head in agreement. And then, an officer walks in asking if they've seen Izuku Midoriya. The teacher's like, "No, I just pointed that out. Why do you ask?" "Well, because he was reported missing last night." So I'm going to need to ask the three kids, because we got a lot of testimony saying those three kids were asking him to follow. Izuku to follow them. They interrogate the kids with let's just say the person they bring in has a lie detector quirk. And if you don't like it, it's a my what if, so deal with it. The guy asks the kids the questions, and he says they all lied about them knowing where Izuku Midoriya is. But before they can, round them all up, one disappears. Another kills themselves. Because of, the guilt of killing another person would obviously break their little middle schooler mind. And the one they did arrest was outside of the room making sure if somebody found them that they could scram. So he didn't know Deku was dead or anything. He just, they were running away from Deku because he was about to actually beat them up. He still goes to Juvie, though, that one. But Deku didn't. In this story, Deku is going to be a vengeful spirit, meaning, no, he's not going to go to UA. He's not going to have any, friends. Also, say your ship. Like, if you want to ship, go ahead and say it in the comment section below. He goes to, we're going to go back to Deku after 30 years. So the kid who was in Juvie is no longer in Juvie, and, he didn't become a hero because of his record. The guy who disappeared did become a hero, and, well, the one who killed himself is still dead. Deku does find this hero. Let's give him, well, his quirk, let's just say it was a lightning quirk, where the more he used it, the sicker he would get. He sees him fighting crime one day and remembers. Because, well, Deku eventually did break out of the safe room. Because there was a fire axe in there that none of them saw. Deku hacked down the door. He went mad after 30 years in solitary. Like, he doesn't even believe himself to be human anymore. And if you're wondering, yes, he would look exactly how, well, Springtrap looks in this photo after escaping. But he does find this new hero. Let's just say who is number 4. Well, the number 4 hero. And, well, he gets murdered. And everyone sees this. Like, Deku didn't care who saw anymore. He wanted revenge. So he was hiding in the shadows of an alleyway. As a hero is standing in front of 3 villains that he just caught, he goes like, ha ha, it's just another day in the hero's work. And he, well, is explaining. Somebody asks him, do you have anything in your life you regret or that you wish you could change? He goes like, I do. I was actually about to, he was like, I guess I can tell this story now. But before he can tell said story, they see an axe go down into his head. Blood coming from his head and him dead immediately. As Deku continues to hack into him. And then when other heroes start arriving, he flees into the alleyway. And yes, Deku was wearing a cloak because he knows better than to run up on somebody and kill them while not looking disguised. Deku is very intelligent in this one. I would say he's like nearly up to Nezu's, well, intelligence level. So, he manages to escape the, well, so-called, as he calls them, so-called heroes, and he sits in the alleyway in Hosu City. Let's say he ran that far. He has his axe with him. He hears someone approaching, so he takes off the cloak and hides the axe behind him and looks like a piece of trash up next to the dumpster. He sees a girl about to be raped by 3 guys who also seem to have who are bullying her. One guy was told to keep watch. 2 guys were told to keep watch, while one has their fun with the girl. As he was about to have his fun with the girl, the other 2 just hear a sickening crunch. Deku stood up from behind the man, who he just clapped his hands together as hard as he could on the man's skull. And keep in mind, this is an old deactivated spring lock suit, meaning he is a robot. And these robots were meant for performing, so they obviously didn't have a need for the, I forgot what law it was called for robotics, but, like, he doesn't have the code to not kill people, meaning he has no strength restriction. So he's pretty tough. And he crushes the man's skull. One of them had a knife quirk, and the other one had a, well, speed quirk. So the speed quirk guy went for, well, Deku's legs. As he did that, Deku just lifted one of his legs and crushed that man's knee. And the man with the knife quirk pulls his knife out and stabs Deku in the head, thinking they've won. He pulls the knife out of the side of his head, because that's where he was stabbed, and drops the knife to the ground and grabs that man by the neck. He goes like, "I always come back." Sorry, that was my best William Afton impression, but I'm not trying to destroy my fucking voice. But anyway, as he has him by the neck, he snaps the guy's neck. The guy whose knee was just shattered is crawling away. He's like, "Please, don't kill me. I'll give you anything, please." He goes like, "I don't want anything but your life." And he splits the man's head open with an axe. Now the little girl who's there thanks him. And he says, "No problem. Actually, what's your quirk?" And the girl responds, "My quirk is called transformation." Which obviously she's scared as fuck. She just saw him crush a man's skull, snap a man's neck, and then pull an axe out and chop someone's head in two. So, she says, "It allows me to take somebody's blood and transform into them." He goes like, "Does it allow you to use their quirk?" She goes like, "No, it doesn't." "Do you get their memories?" She says no. "Huh. Well, still, I'm gonna take you under my wing." So, let's skip to nighttime. They find an abandoned apartment building, which they're staying in. And at this apartment building, let's just say Deku's been here before. As well, he used to love tinkering on stuff since he knew he could never really be a hero. So he makes some pretty cool stuff and a custom knife for this girl. This girl was about the age he was before he died. She asks, "What type of quirk does he have?" He says, "My quirk is called Spring Trap." Basically makes me look like a robotic rabbit. She says, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you bleed?" He was like, no." She goes like, "Huh." He asks her about, what happened in this world. She wants to know for how long ago. He asks about the hero Nana Shimura, the girl. If you all couldn't catch on by now, the girl's name is Toga. Toga. He goes like, "So what happened to Nana Shimura?" She goes like, "Who is that? Have I really been dead for that long?" She's like, "Dead? I thought you said that was your quirk." "Well, not really. I'm gonna be honest with you. This isn't a quirk. This is more of a curse. I died. What's the year right now?" She says it's, the one time I forget what year they were in canon. Let's just say 2067. He goes like, "I've really been dead for, 30 years. She's like, "You're that old and dead?" He goes like, "Yep." "Huh. Can I get your name before you died?" He says, "No, you can call me Springtrap." He goes like, "I will, you can call me Toga." He goes like, "Alright, Toga." She explains everything that happens and, what happened in canon, pretty much, about the rise of All Might. Which Deku says, I don't like him. He seems like an arrogant person who's just in it for the fame. She was like, I hate him too. And so, Deku, let's just say this is the 10 months training period time, trains Toga in knife combat. And if you're wondering, how does Deku know knife combat? Because you don't think he wouldn't have went into like a library or asked Toga for her phone and plugged himself into the internet. He does have the capability of storing memories to flawlessness in that machine's body. So he has no problem memorizing anything. He teaches her in knife combat. And, well, at the end of the 10 months training period, Toga would be at where she's at in part 4 of the anime. And I think it's at part 4 where she has the ability to erase her presence. Now at this time, obviously, Deku's learned. He's extremely quiet with his steps. For something that big, that's impressive. And that heavy. One day, Deku hears about an attack that's going to happen. And this is like a few weeks after the entrance exam. He asks Toga he captures one of the villains that were supposed to be in this attack, and kills them, draining their blood, and tells Toga to go in his place, but do not do anything during the attack. She goes like, alrighty. She goes there with a mini camera on her chest, disguised as the man that, Deku just killed. I'm going to call him Deku because I don't want to have to say Izuku Midoriya. So, during this time of the attack, Aizawa gets beaten down. The Nomu, when Shigaraki's about to go to Froppy and them, it still happens as in canon. Well, the attack does actually, except for the fact that Froppy and Mineta were a bit later than last time. And also in this in this What If, Bakugo is extremely arrogant. Like, there was no one to hold him down. There was no one to make him humble or think about his actions. But as Shigaraki and Kirigori are leaving, Toga manages to slip into the portal. When they land back at the League of Villains base, All For One's wondering, how did this villain make it back with them? And Shigaraki's like, I don't know, but I can fix that. And she says, whoa, I was sent here by another person and, scout if you guys were worthy to join. And he goes, All For One would get intrigued by this and ask, who would this person be? She goes, Springtrap's his name. Springtrap, huh? The voice from a monitor would be saying. It's like, bring this Springtrap to me. I would like to meet him. She says, alrighty. And so she goes home. To the apartment that she calls home. And asks Deku to come with her the next day. He follows her and asks her about the information of the, if you guys couldn't catch it, it was the USJ attack. And, as they go to the bar where the League of Villains is at, she goes like, got any ice? And Kirigori opens his back room and gets them both there. But she's in a cloak, and All For One, does see this. He goes like, Could you please remove the cloak? We have no problems with identities. And that's where Deku would say in his raspy voice, I have no problem with you knowing my identity. It's the fact that I'm pretty sure you'd throw up at first sight of me. And All For One's like, oh please, I've seen many of quirks more disgusting than what you could possibly have. That's when Deku starts laughing. This isn't a quirk. Unfortunately, this is a goddamn curse. As he takes off his hood of the cloak, and they see the Springtrap head. He goes like, I am Springtrap. And they all recognize the eye glow. And, well, the cloak, finally. Shigaraki does, at least. He was like, you were that man who killed the number 4 hero. Right. He was called Cerberus. He was like, I did kill him. All For One asks, why would you do that? Trying to make a big name for yourself? And that's when Deku laughs and says, no, I was out for revenge. Revenge for what he did to me. What they both did to me. Now, everyone would wonder what does he mean by that, but they don't want to anger him, so they don't push it any further. All For One asks, would you like to join the League of Villains? And I'm going to have to leave it off on a cliffhanger, but if you want to, put down in the comment section below, should he join the League, yes or no? It's up to you.